Okay, I think we're going to get started. We just have a few formal speakers before we turn everybody loose tonight to mingle and to check out the artifacts out in the hallway, the artifacts we have on display here at the table. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Dr. Michael Borshuk. I'm an associate professor in the Department of English, and I'm the director of the Humanities Center at Texas Tech. And it's my great pleasure to welcome you here tonight to Black and Brown in Print as we unveil this exhibition that we're partnering on with the Southwest Collection. My colleagues from the Provost's office just gave me a couple of really plum jokes to tell to warm up the crowd, but I'm always so nervous entering these events that I'm worried my timing is going to be just straight off. So I'll skip them and I'll leave the jokes for them, I guess. So the Humanities Center, if you don't know about the Humanities Center at Texas Tech, our mission is various. We administer grants, for instance, to support faculty research here on campus and to encourage interdisciplinary exchange across the different humanities departments here at TTU. But a central part of our mission is also to bring that scholarship back to the public and to include as many different populations as possible. So we do that in the classroom, we do that in public talks with guest speakers, and we do that in events like tonight where we showcase the fruits of scholarly labor. So I'm really grateful for all of you to coming out tonight and seeing what we have on display. This exhibition, which displays artifacts from the Southwest Collection's holdings in Black and Latinx newspapers here on the South Plains, extends the Humanities Center's programming from last year. All of 21-22, we focused on the theme of anti-racism. And one of the recurring discussions we had across our events and our activities was how we need to diversify perspectives when we look at history. And in particular, how we need to challenge that how too often in the past, dominant narratives have been exclusive at the expense of other voices. So Black and Brown in Print, which you're here to see tonight, responds to that vital imperative. And it's part of our ongoing mission out of last year's programming and activities. If I may, a few important thank yous that I want to offer before we move on tonight to Robert Weaver. Where is Robert? There he is, Robert, thank you, who is a Humanities Center board member and an archivist here at the Southwest Collection, to librarian Austin Allison, to exhibits preparator Ian Babowitz, as well as the Southwest Collection's archivists and librarians across time who for decades have collected the treasures that are featured in tonight's exhibit. As well, I want to offer a special nod of gratitude to archivist Zach Hernandez, whom you'll hear from in a few moments. And thank you as well to Madison Wheeler, who is the Executive Administrative Assistant for the Humanities Center and really is the force that makes all things Humanities Center happen. So I'm very grateful to Madison. I'd like to acknowledge our benefactors here at TTU, the Office of the President, the Office of the Provost, and the Office for Research and Innovation. And finally, I'd like to acknowledge the passing of T.J. Patterson last week. Mr. Patterson's commitment to community and justice here in Lubbock runs through the very spirit of this exhibition, which we're here for tonight. Before I turn the microphone over to Provost Ron Hendrick, who will offer a few words of welcome, I'd like, as always, to read the Humanities Center's Land Acknowledgement Statement. The Humanities Center at Texas Tech opens its officially sponsored events with an acknowledgement of the indigenous people on whose lands we host our talks and gatherings. The center opens its events with this gesture as part of our commitment to respecting the shared humanity of different populations across diverse cultural traditions, and to remembering with clarity the complex and violent truths of our history. With that in mind, we acknowledge the sacred grounds on which we stand, the traditional homelands of the Apache tribe of Oklahoma, the Cheyenne and Arapaho tribes, the Comanche Nation, the Jicarilla Apache Nation, the Kiowa tribe of Oklahoma, and the Mescalero Apache tribe of the Mescalero Reservation. We pay respect to their elders past and present. Please take a moment to consider the many legacies of violence, displacement, trauma, migration, and settlement that bring us together here today. Thanks very much. And now turn things over to Provost Ron Hendrick now. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate the opportunity to be with you. This, I think, is really kind of a nice bookend, Mike, to the work of the Humanities Center over the past year. And so thank you for all that you and the center do, and also to our archivists and others for the work done here. This is timely for me because I've been going around campus doing town hall meetings, and those have been preceded by walkthroughs of facilities and spaces. I just did the library. The place I didn't get to was the Southwest Collection, so it's good to be here. I do have a formal visit scheduled later. And you mentioned T.J. Patterson. I remember one of the things reading about kind of his legacy is the publication, the Lubbock Digest, I guess now Southwest Digest, that he and Eddie Richardson started. So again, sort of timely, and speaks to the importance of what we're doing here tonight. And the importance of not just archiving the work, but making it accessible is important for the work we do as a community and here on campus. As we work to make a campus that is not just more diverse, but also more inclusive and more equitable. These are important ways and important collections and important events to how we do that. I have said before, it's kind of tidy to say that diversity is a strength, but diversity is of a place and institution isn't really strength until voices are heard and experiences are shared and perspectives are learned and co-learned. And so tonight we have an opportunity to see some of that, to contribute to the work done here in advancing those things, so that the diversity of this campus and this community really can become a strength as we work to become more equitable and more inclusive, and to hear those voices, and to hear the experiences, and to learn from one another. So again, thanks, Mike and Zach. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. Thank all of you for joining us this evening.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, Provost Hendrick, Dr. Mike Borshuk, for supporting us with your presence and your words. My name's Zach, which is pretty obvious, but thank you for all coming to this reception and participating in an opportunity to honor the foundational roles that the diverse Black and Latino communities have played in this city's history. Their contributions deepen our perspectives of what it means to be part of Lubbock, Texas, and the United States. I want to start by recognizing a few important people. Many editors, publishers, writers, and newspaper owners poured their hearts and souls into creating news resources for and about the Black and Latino communities here in Lubbock. Many of the giants that have played vital roles in this city are no longer with us. Vidal Agüero, Eddie Richardson, Augustine Medina, Ernest Barton, Alicia Abercrombie, Felimon Jimenez, Dr. J. Rivera, and James Roy Lewis. All of these people dedicated much of their lives to centering the experiences of the Black and Latino populations in their newspapers. Their work, spanning decades, is an affirmation of cultural struggle and survival. We have lost Olga Agüero and T.J. Patterson very recently. Many of the newspapers you will see tonight would not exist without them. I offer my deepest condolences to the family. The Southwest Collection is grateful to be able to preserve the legacy of their work in order to tell a deeper, more nuanced story about who we are as a city and region. I also want to extend a special welcome to Christy Martinez, our newly elected city council member and the longtime owner and publisher of Latino Lubbock. We have a few family members of those icons here in attendance. I know that many of the Agüero family members are either here already or will be here. Medina family members, Christy and her husband Frank. I know the Patterson family would be here if they could. I'm honored to be a part of an exhibition that honors you and your family's story. When we began thinking of our next exhibit, we looked toward the Southwest Collection's archival materials that deserved attention from Lubbock and the Texas Tech communities. Our newspaper collection here is phenomenal. Our librarians have done a tremendous job of collecting and making available tens of thousands of newspapers from communities and organizations across West Texas. Moreover, decades of oral historians have captured firsthand accounts of the people who lived this history. We wanted to showcase their dedication and hard work. However, we also wanted to celebrate a dynamic aspect of Lubbock's history that at times does not get enough attention. Newspapers focusing on the Spanish-speaking and Black communities have been a part of Lubbock's landscape for over 80 years, at least. These newspapers have covered stories ranging from racism and community activism to the individual achievements of students and leaders in these communities. Over the last few years, for example, they have been on the front line of covering the COVID-19 pandemic. Their pages and the stories they have brought to the public's attention not only inform Lubbock, but also challenge readers with perspectives outside the mainstream. Black and Brown in Print highlights generations of publishers of color in this city because Lubbock would not exist without the hard work and ingenuity of its brown and black populations. This exhibit tonight is also an invitation to community members to come to the Southwest Collection and begin their own research projects that center the Latino and Black experience in West Texas and the greater and Southwest. The newspapers and artifacts on display tonight are just a snapshot of the types of historical resources available in this archive. I hope that everybody here for the first time finds themselves coming back, because I want everyone to discover the joys of opening an archival box and exploring the historical gems contained within. Unique photographs, newspapers, journals, correspondences, and many other treasures are pieces of our story that are available nowhere else except here at the Southwest Collection. This is also a reminder that we need more historical materials here, especially as they relate to the underserved communities in Lubbock, a city that is quickly becoming a minority-majority city if it's not already there. Its diverse populations deserve to be represented in this archive in all of their complexity. To end, I want to reiterate some of the thanks that Mike gave earlier. Thanks, Dr. Borshuk and the Humanities Center for all of the promotion today and handling the logistics. All the food that we'll hope you will enjoy tonight, they paid for. Ian Babowitz put together a great exhibit. He said don't call him out, but he's over there. Robert Weaver and Austin Allison co-collaborated to co-curate Black and Brown in Print. I thank you all. So with that, we'll wrap this up. The food is right behind you through those doors. There's food and drinks. Enjoy as much as you want. There's a table here that features many of the newspapers that we're looking to highlight, so please walk by here. But the main exhibit is down the hall. So if you walk down in the big exhibit case and then there's a smaller case, that's where the exhibit is. So have a good time, enjoy, relax, eat, drink, and thank you for coming. Yeah.